Hi, this is Ime with Video Nurse. I am a RN and a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Washington. And here just having a little project here on Ustream where hopefully I can give you some free advice in general, not to treat any specific diseases or disorders, whether it be about health or mental health, but just some general advice about things that people bring to me in terms of their questions. And I've been noticing lately that I've gotten a lot of teens, particularly, tuning into my show or leaving comments. And a number of these teens come from divorced families. Now, statistically, in the United States, about 1 out of every 2 marriages end in divorce. So there's going to be lots and lots of kids out there who come from divorced families. I want to hear from you in this hour, so if you are watching this or you're watching this later, please do leave a comment on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Your Little China Girl, LIL, China Girl. I'll leave that information for you to do that. And also here on my Ustream channel, which is Video Nurse. Let me pull up some statistics so we know what we're talking about here in terms of marriage and U.S. divorce statistics. This is coming from divorcemag.com. Here's some sampling. I'll remember, since we're in 2010 here, that the most recent divorce statistics for the census are probably not compiled yet. There were approximately 2,230,000 marriages in 2005, down from 2,279,000 in the previous year, despite a total population increase of 2.9 million over the same period. The divorce rate in 2005, now this is per 1,000 people, was 3.6, the lowest rate since 1970. So that's kind of the good news, is that at least in 2005, the divorce rate in the U.S. has decreased. It's still high, but it's decreased. The marriage rate in 2005 per 1,000 was 7.5, down from 7.8 the previous year. In 2004, the stats with the highest reported, the state with the highest reported divorce rate was Nevada at 6.4 per 1,000. Arkansas was a close second with a divorce rate of 6.3, followed by Wyoming at 5.3. The District of Columbia had the lowest reported divorce rate at 1.7. I don't want to even know what that's about. Maybe it has to do with finances, because honestly, sometimes finances is what keeps the love happening. All right, 8.1% of coupled households consist of unmarried heterosexual partners. Some other statistics here. As of 2003, 43.7% of custodial mothers and 56.2% of custodial fathers were either separated or divorced. And in 2002, 7.8 million Americans paid about $40 billion in child or spousal support. Of course, 84% of the payers were male. That's a lot of people and a lot of money going towards what happens when marriages don't continue and they end in a divorce or separation and there's kids involved, at least on the financial end. What I'm here to talk about today is a little bit more what happens to the kids who are involved. Now, pulling up another document here, this from the Mayo Clinic. A couple of different tips that the Mayo Clinic talks about in terms of helping children whose parents are going through a divorce. Talks a little bit about how to break the news, especially if you can break that news to your kids while you're still together, and to do that at the same time rather than it coming from one parent or the other. To speak honestly and simply about it, skip all the ugly details. Just say, Mom and Dad, we're not getting along and we're unhappy, and we don't want to be unhappy people, hurt each other and hurt you. So that's why we're not going to be together. Something very, very simple, and then letting the children say something back to express their feelings. Expect a mix of reactions. Don't expect it to go over perfectly. They may have anger, anxiety, grief, or even some relief. When my parents actually broke it to me, there was a lot of relief on my part, even though I know they were going to go through a very hard time. Now, I was much older, but there was some intimation that they were going to separate when I was younger. And so I'd already been prepared for it. The relief came from knowing that perhaps they would really be much happier, not with each other, and that was okay. So there may be some older children who may have that reaction. Another tip that the Mayo Clinic gives is don't bend the rules. It may be tempting to relax your parental rules while your child grieves over the divorce. So you're trying to console them and give them all kinds of things that they wouldn't normally have. That's only teaching a message that because of the grief that you're going through, you're no longer going to put strong boundaries around your children. And you don't want to communicate that. You want to be able to say in both your homes, look, I love you, and you're not going to get everything that you want. It's still the same way because I love you and I want what's best for you. Another tip they give is counseling can help. Now, I am a mental health counselor, and I do help parents who are divorcing or separating, and I also do help the children too. So counseling, I can tell you that lots of people come to me and they talk about their problems. I'm certainly not telling you this so that I can get more business out of you, although lots of people have been helped by my counseling, and they're going to be helped by lots and lots of other counselors and mediators out there who are there for you. Your child could definitely benefit from counseling, and depending on their age, may want to be in counseling on their own, especially if they're feeling sad or angry or having trouble eating or sleeping, or they're having problems in school or with their friends. Especially if you notice any major personality changes or any regression, meaning that they're acting much younger than their age. These are definitely things for a professional to be invited to step in and to have your child have a safe place to talk about these things. And also, final one that the Mayo Clinic mentions is if your child develops some irrational fears. Suddenly a lot of paranoia or just illogical things. Again, that could be age-related. An older child suddenly having a lot of nightmares and talking about monsters and things getting them. Definitely you want to have some professional help in there. Another tip, put your child first. This is a really tough one for parents. You're already going through really, really difficult, conflicted emotions that are coming out everywhere. And you need to put your kid first, not yourself. This is very hard. Process your feelings in a safe environment away from your children. I cannot tell you how many times parents have told me how much they regret fighting in front of their children. It is a traumatizing thing for the parents, and it's a really traumatizing thing for the child. So please remember, child first, and being available, letting your child know that your kid needs both you and your spouse. You need to work out all those custody arrangements and other details that are with your child's best interest. Do not use your kid as some kind of bargaining chip. I know that sounds like really, really awful, and you would say, I'd never do that. But kids are afraid that they're going to get in the crossfire between the two of you. And so that is my admonition, please, to parents, to keep that in mind. Don't use your kids as a little bargaining chip. Remember that a bitter and prolonged custody battle can have a lot of serious long-term tolls on not just yourself, but on your children and your child's mental health, not only when they're still children, but when they become older. Something that they're going to carry on with them if this gets elongated. Instead, you want to help your child maintain a strong and loving relationship with both parents. And, work towards your parenting goals. Do this stuff, just keep at it. And again, you can process that with a counselor. Support from both the parents can be the best thing for them, and also knowing that if they end up going into counseling, you can assure that counselor that both parents are on board and they're there for their child. That's very, very helpful in the process, especially when that counselor will eventually have sessions where the child and you are in the same room together processing these things and trying to make the best of it. So those are my tips as video nurse, again taken from the MayoClinic.com article on health and divorce when there's children involved. Hope that that's helpful. Please do leave your video comments, and that's on my YouTube channel, Your Little China Girl, or here on Ustream under my Video Nurse channel. You can leave comments there. Offline, videonurse@me.com if you have questions or thoughts that you'd like to share. And also, I was going to share with you, I do have a Google Voice number that I'm going to allow people to use. And that is going to be on the backside, or if you look in the description, that'll be on this Video Nurse page as well. So that if you are in the chat on Mondays, 4 p.m. PST or PDT, you can come in the chat and call on the Google voicemail, leave a message. I may use your question and use it to help you or help somebody else. Charles Monet, would you like to say thanks for watching?